age ain't a limit, it's a badge upon my chest. I'm still out running young bucks till my last breath. Legacy in motion, you can see it in my steps. Heart of a lion, and you better show respect.
I said I'm ready for greatness. 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 I said I'm ready for greatness.
What's good, family? It's Big Will, and welcome back to the Big Will Breakdown. Today we're stepping into anchor number 5. Pick a direction, make a plan, and take that first step. This one's heavy for me because if there's one truth that I've learned over and over again in my life, is that there's always a point to where you have to kind of decide, which way am I going? What's my plan to get there? And am I willing to take that first step? Even if it's shaky, even if it hurts, and even if I don't see the full path just yet. Because listen, nothing changes until you move. And I want to be real with y'all. This lesson didn't come easy for me. Now, if you've been rocking with me through all the other anchors, you know what I've already covered. Covered a lot. First one was taking the gut punch when it hits you, when life just takes you down, and not staying there. And number 2 was owning your part if it's your fault, or letting it go if it isn't. Number 3 was leaving what you can't control and only focusing on what you can, and realizing that there's always more than one way to do a thing. So those were the first 4 anchors. Now anchor 5 kind of ties them all together because at some point you got to move. You can't just sit in a dark space forever. And as for me, this came during one of the darkest periods and seasons in my life. After my 3rd marriage ended, I found myself in a mobile home in Rochester Hills, Michigan. It was a nice setup. Fireplace, 2 bedrooms, full kitchen, fully paid off. Lot rent was manageable, about $500 a month. My car was mine. My band was booked a year in advance. And from the outside looking in, Big Will was okay. But behind my eyes, behind those closed doors, I was falling apart. Every night, almost like clockwork, from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m., I'd sink. I'd sit in that dark room, which reminded me of a coffin because if you can picture a mobile home, it's just straight front to back. I had vaulted ceilings and different amenities, but it was still a box. The fire would be going, the wind would be howling outside, especially if it was wintertime. Like I was in some isolated cabin in the woods. So some nights and most nights I would sit there and cry, sometimes uncontrollably. And even worse, more than those tears, the voices would start to come, whispering things like, hey, you've done all you can do. You've lived a good life. You've raised your kids. You've had success. Nobody would really miss you because life always goes on. So just rest. You can go ahead and check out. Just be done. And I hear it like a conversation in my head, just like I'm talking to you right now, over and over. And family, I could tell you straight up, it scared the shit out of me. I did do therapy. I did get on medicine. I did talk to people. But it was like in the first time in my life that I realized that I might not make it if I stay here. So during that same time, I was dating a woman and we occasionally would visit Las Vegas. We rent a place at Lake Las Vegas, go see shows, walk under the palm trees, and something about Vegas hit me different. Was it the mountains? Was it the palm trees? Was it the desert air? I don't know, but it was like life itself was whispering back to me, "You're not done yet, kid." And I felt possibility. I felt hope. Something I hadn't felt in a long time. I can remember sitting on a balcony just watching the planes come in because Vegas is a valley. It's surrounded by a mountain ridge, 360 degrees, north, south, east, and west. And you can see the planes come in from where we were, coming into McCarran Airport, or Harry Reid Airport as we call it now. And I just remember exhaling. Just remember feeling that. And I hadn't done that in that mobile home for a couple of years. So one time visiting, an opportunity came. A chance maybe to play keyboards in a Motown show. But here was the catch. It meant leaving Michigan. It meant moving 2,500 miles away to a city I barely knew. That was the crossroad. And I remember my mom's words. People will always come to your aid if they see you trying, really trying. Even if you fail, as long as you're moving forward, doors will open. So I picked a direction, I made a plan, and I took the first step. Now I called people, I asked questions, I scoped apartments, and I said to myself, I do need to see those mountains and palm trees every day. That became part of the plan because I knew what that scenery did for my spirit. And doors started opening up. A band leader friend of mine that had been checking me out on Facebook contacted with me and connected with me. He also gave me advice, and I found an apartment that kind of checked every box that I was looking for, especially with the mountains and the palm trees, being able to see those every day to get my woosah moments. Everything started falling into place, even selling my mobile home. I bought it for $8,000. I was able to sell it for $3,000 more. That move lined up so clean it almost felt like a confirmation. And on October 14th, 2017, I got on that plane, said goodbye to Michigan, and stepped to life in Las Vegas. Now, moving here didn't solve everything. I still had struggles. I still needed work, but it put me in a position for the next chapter. I picked up gigs, and then I landed a job at a call center. And when the pandemic hit, that job saved me. While millions lost work, I was able to keep mine. And when my back injury and blood clots showed up later, that forced me to find new ways to fight, like DDPY yoga and like this podcast. Looking back, I realized that if I hadn't made that move, and if I hadn't taken that first step, I might not even be here today to tell you this story. Because life was lifing. And here's the gem, fam. Direction matters. Plans matter. But what change your life is going to take is going to be the courage that it takes to make that first step. And like Martin Luther King said, you may not be able to see the whole staircase. You just have to take that first step. You might not know how it ends, but when you move, life moves with you. Allies appears. Doors open. Energy shifts. It won't always be easy, and it never is. Sometimes you'll fall. Sometimes you have to start over again. But you'll still be moving. And moving is living. So here's my challenge for all of you. What direction do you need to pick? What plan can you make today? And what first step can you take, even if it's small, that get you moving towards the life you deserve. Because the truth of the matter is this: survival, healing, growth, success, it all starts with that first step. That's today's breakdown. Thank you for letting me share this piece of my journey, the dark parts and the light. And if this message hits you, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Let's keep this conversation going, because I can promise you that there is more to come. Life is going to do what it's going to do. And I want to hear your stories too. Until next time, this is Big Will for the Big Will Breakdown. Keep healing out loud, keep holding yourself accountable, and most importantly, keep stepping into your future.
Head down, tunnel vision, I don't see the hate. Clocking every hour, yeah, I'm building my feet. Took me some L's, paid the cost, but never broke. Pressure make the diamonds, now I'm speaking in smoke. Age ain't a limit, it's a badge upon my chest. I'm still out running young bucks till my last breath. Legacy in motion, you can see it in my steps. Heart of a lion, and you better show respect.
I said I'm ready for greatness. 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 I said I'm ready for
The Big Will Breakdown podcast is produced by William Big Will Elijah and Gail. Theme song, Greatness, written, produced, and performed by William Big Will Elijah. Art direction, William Big Will Elijah. Get caught up on the latest episodes of The Big Will Breakdown wherever you podcast. Follow, like, comment, and share. Don't forget to turn those notifications on. For more insights, information, and merchandise, go to thebigwillbreakdown.com. Thank you for your support.